Hi everyone. So I'm actually taking my evening walk, my routine evening walk. Now that it's the weekend, so I wanted to just I haven't been really so active, and last few days I'm trying to focus on my work and everything. But today I wanted to just talk about something. This thing that I told a friend about. That we have this whole thing in a lot of these cases where. Uh, you hear this a lot, you see this a lot. You don't know the person online. The person claims to know you online. What kind of thing is that? Where does it come from? The idea. The whole there is actually a clinical term for that. It's called parasocial obsession. Okay, so the clinical term in just one word is paraphilia. Okay, I know that there's another word like the PEDO, philia. It's not a good word. Obviously, it means like people who are sexually attracted to children. Okay, but paraphilia is a bit different. It's or paraphilia or parasocial obsession. It's the idea that some kind of it's based a lot on the idea of limerence. Like, limerence is another term, and this kind of thing, this phenomenon, actually pertains to this whole idea of one-sided love, obsession, or fascination. So you know that in narcissistic or toxic relationships, where there's always a kind of like a asymmetrical relationship, where one party is the one giving, the other party, the narcissist himself or herself, takes everything, okay, and so the one doing all the giving is in limerence because he or she is under the fantasy, the idea that by giving or keeping on giving, he or she will get the narcissist or the toxic person. Okay, need not be a narcissist, but could be just toxic person to actually like them or accept them. But it doesn't work because obviously it's a kind of obsession. And the problem with limerence, not just limerence, but even parasocial obsession, is that there's always this fantasy element. Okay, the fantasy element is the idea of love, false love. Speaking of which, okay, this there's actually a full moon up there, so you can see it's a real full moon. So I'm not gonna just. It's very beautiful full moon. So, but from those who are astrologers, they say that with the conjunction of planets, there might be some blow up, whatever. I don't believe in that. I don't really care so much. But the whole idea that back to limerence and parasocial obsession. So you see that sometimes online. Sometimes you might encounter some people who they always make those kind of stupid claims that you are obsessed with them, you're stalking them, but you're not even following them. Just like what I was just doing. I wasn't following anyone, not even that ugly girl. Okay, not ugly, just unattractive, nasty, Mr. Andrews person. Okay, and the whole idea that these people think that the world of themselves, okay, that we are obsessed with them, okay, when we are not even following them, it kind of shows a kind of parasocial obsession. That whole idea of that someone must be interested in you to criticize you. It's a very mean girl thing. Okay, only mean girls do that. Okay, and this is very typical in narcissistic people, or even people who are just totally delusional. But this is no different from what happens in certain areas, like for example people who are obsessed with celebrities. We have that in Korean pop. The saseng is a Korean word for fan. Those rabbit fans who goes around like chasing the stars, and they have this kind of like a fantastic parasocial obsession with the stars, thinking that the star is their so-called as if their family member or their lover. And you have such behavior in the case of the best example was when this girl from the girl group aespa, AESPA, Karina, she was dating an actor, Lee Jae-woo, and the moment the news came out, there were some Chinese fans who said, they posted in public on a poster, "Isn't our love enough for you? Why do you have to date someone? No, it's so unhealthy and toxic. It's the whole idea, in sassing culture or fan culture, that the celebrity, the actress, or the singer has to actually, or even the male, okay, has to remain single for you, that you are the lover, okay. So it's demented and delusional, but this is a very problematic thing with parasocial obsession, and we don't just have it in Korean pop culture, but even in, let's say, American Western pop culture. The whole idea that people have of, like, the most recent one was about Taylor Swift, the idea that she cares about her fans and that she's like, she loves them. That pop stars love to do that. They say, I love you all, but you barely even know your fans, okay? You don't have a personal so-called relationship. It's not a personal one-to-one relationship. It's more like a parasocial relationship where you make them think that you really care about them, when it's not that substantial. Like when the stars grow old, they're not in a career anymore as a musician or actor or actress, okay? Or even when, let's say, the fans grow up and kind of like move on, okay, onto other things in life, we know that kind of parasocial relationship kind of fades off. And this is a problem not just with the popular culture itself, okay, musical culture, but even in, like, let's say, internet culture. Because internet culture, as we all know, there's a lot of this thing with false avatar profile pictures, okay, and not even if you use the so-called real photo, a lot of people are always putting forth the best images of themselves, okay. Like I don't think that right now you can see I'm not really shaven, not for now, but the thing is, I wouldn't place a profile photo that's unflattering, where I don't take care of myself, my hairstyle, or my where I don't have a little bit of, at least, of makeup or my sunscreen on, and yeah, where I haven't really brushed my teeth, or I don't do that kind of stuff. So but I know that for some people, they do a lot of stuff like filters. For some guys and girls, they are so conscious about their skin, okay, wrinkles, acne scars, and everything. So this whole idea, the thing is that the internet, in this age of the internet age is an age when it actually facilitates the creation of this kind of fantasy, of this parasocial obsession and paraphilia, okay. And I don't always think it's healthy, but it's just the nature of the game. When it comes to the internet, it's a lot about fantasy, like, just like, the moon, okay, in the tarot card system, the moon always represents fantasy, because it waxes and wanes. Sometimes it's the full moon, sometimes it's a crescent moon, sometimes it's the new moon where it's just black, it's just starting to emerge, okay. So once you get the card, you always represent some kind of illusion. Of course, when there's a inversion of the card, the reverse reading, it means the kind of like coming out of these illusions. So but back to this whole idea of what it means when it comes to parasocial obsession. So the online world itself is full of a lot of that. We cannot vouch for it unless the person has already been our real friend in real life, okay. And that's why I don't take it very seriously when someone tries to threaten me, say certain things about me. I don't take it seriously, because to begin with, my content was never about them, okay. If I do make content about them, then you watch out. I really mean that they're very, very toxic, okay. You shouldn't be listening to them, because my content is predominantly still about mental health, about narcissistic abuse, okay, about the phenomenon in general, how we ourselves are to recover, and also from PTSD, and also travel, my hobbies, okay. I don't talk about those people who are, I don't complain or point a finger, because they are who they are, okay. It's, as I said, it's time to stop pointing fingers. When you get stabbed in the back by someone, are you gonna just keep on pointing fingers at the person screaming and crying like a baby, when you can just take out that thing at the back and get it addressed and bandaged and healed by some professional, okay. I'll choose the latter instead of just complaining and pointing the finger, okay. So yeah, I don't deal with people who are just simply out to do finger pointing. I realized that when I was on the this whole thing with forums. The thing with all these forums, a lot of these forums also, I'm not saying all, but a lot of forums create a space for parasocial obsession or parasocial relationships. And it's all healthy when there's a kind of boundary where we say, okay, I know that one particular forum, when I talk about some things like uncertified life coaches, one of the moderators just said, okay, thanks for telling us that because about your experience, because that's why our group does not endorse any so-called life coaches, because most of these so-called life coaches are not only uncertified, okay, they don't have certifications in therapy, okay, or counseling, and on top of that, some of them are actually pretty narcissistic themselves or toxic, and they re-traumatize their clients, okay, those who go to them for counseling. Okay, and the moderator was saying it as a man himself, and some other women in the group actually said that themselves. They said, you know what? If it's possible, block all this, so-called narcissistic abuse life coaches. Okay, unless they really have results. Okay, evidence. We always talk about evidence. In the industry of personal training. That was where I used to be, okay? Before I became a teacher, back again, or lecturer. We always talk about evidence-based results, okay? Don't claim that you can deliver this unless you have the evidence, the scientific evidence, okay? So it has nothing to do with whether, like the coach whips out a certificate saying, I have PTSD. So, you're not healed, okay? You are not qualified to talk about this stuff. It's like, the one who's the abuser telling people, oh, I can talk about abuse. Why? Because you have been abusing everyone. So I guess like Amber Heard, she's most qualified to talk about abuse because she has been abusing everyone, including her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Okay? So, no one should be, doing all this. And this is a form of like parasocial obsession or parasocial relationship, which is a kind of like it's a flimsy fantasy. Okay? So, anyway, going to finish this walk. Okay, and I'll get back to doing some work as well because I've been trying to rest, but I'm not really resting as much. I finished some work and everything, and now I'm going to go on to new work. And but I'm very, very happy. Again, my life now has been, to be honest, ever since I came back from Korea, there's a lot of this kind of things that I realized that things are changing. And I told my mom actually said something which was kind of funny. She said, I told her, Mom, I got a new stuff, new things I could do. And she said, I told her it's like 10 years. I don't deal with some people precisely because I know the kind of effort, time it taken to level up. So I don't engage with some people. And she said, it's not even 10 years. It's like 14 years. If you were to count the few years you were away in Japan. I said, well, that doesn't really come from my point of view because actually I did get a job here, but I didn't take it up. I actually went to Japan instead to work because of the better pay and everything. So, but that's it. It's just a separate thing. So the whole thing is this. I think we should be really, really careful about this so-called online relationships because most of them are not really relationships. I can say maybe with the exception of a few people, like one or two people who are my friends, whom I first met online. I have a few actually that I met first online in Korea, and then we met separately in real person, and the whole course of interactions were very respectful. They're very, very good people. They do not behave in an offensive way, and I guess maybe it's just the fact that Koreans and Korean culture, we all perceive by the very not just Korean culture but East Asian culture, there's kind of respect for people. Okay. Not so in American culture. You have really, really rude people behaving on this whole idea, this whole principle of parasocial obsession. Okay, and it just makes me realize, the whole claim that you must be stalking them or obsessed with them, but when you're not even following them, it's kind of laughable. Okay, and I don't really have anything good to say about those kind of people. I think they need to go and see a doctor. Okay, anyway, that's it for now. Okay, have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.